Hello, welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning into this video. Today I'm doing another Monochromatic Mondays video and today's color is Plum. So if you'd like to see how I put this look together and all the products that I used, just keep on watching. Okay, I really don't know where I'm gonna go with this look, so I'm gonna start on the face. And I already have my base on. I have the Gucci foundation, I have the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer, a bit of the Fenty powder, and some of the Guerlain Terracotta Nude Bronzer. And I'm taking the Chantecaille Sheen, the Liquid Lumiere, which I used in my quick and easy makeup video as well. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the cheeks because I think this color suits the look that I'm going for. It has some cooler sort of pinky champagne-y tones, and I just think that it does give a nice sheen to the skin without being too in your face. I guess I know where I'm going with this look for everything other than the eyes. Like I have a plan for the cheeks and the lips, but the eyes I'm just kind of have an idea of the effect that I want on the eyes, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get it or where it's going to end up. Okay, so there's sheen on the cheeks, and I'm going to now go into blush. So I was trying to figure out what color blush do I have that would really work for this, and I thought of one that might be okay, but then I found this one in my big box of makeup and I knew that this was the right one. This is the Tom Ford Glow Stick. These came out in holidays 2019 and I only got this one. This is 04 Courchevel and it has this really nice kind of berry toned blush, which I think is perfect for what I'm going for here. So I'm just going to take my little brush and load that up, because even though I find that this is obviously kind of a deep color, it is really nice and easy to blend despite what it looks like right now. So I'm just kind of placing it on. It has a nice emolliency, and I'm going to take my buffing brush to make really easy work of blending around the edges here. I'm all right with having the blush kind of a bit lower down and sort of over a wider area. I can, if I need to adjust it later on, I can do that with some of my powder. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I kind of like that wintry cheek look. And next, I guess I can't put off the eyes any longer. So we're thinking plum tones here. I've pulled out 3 palettes. I have the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2, thinking kind of this tone here. I have the Divine Rose 1 because it has some purpley tones. I don't know if we'll go into that. And then I also have the Natasha Denona Lila palette, which has lots of nice purple plummy tones. Now to start out, I want to do I want some liner as a base for the eye, and I want to kind of build up from dark up to lighter tones. That's sort of my overarching idea. So I'm just gonna sharpen my black pencil. This is from Douce, I think is how it's said. It's D-O-U-C-C-E is the brand. And I really like this liner. This is the only black liner that I have right now, or black pencil type liner. And although it's not the best for what I'm doing today, which is I'm gonna try to like smudge it out a little bit because it does dry down quite quickly, but I can make it work. But it's really good for the waterline because it's not very prone to smudging. So if you want a black on your waterline, I find that's a really good one. That one came in a glossy box. One of my sisters got me a 6-month subscription to Glossy Box for Christmas. And so that came in one of the ones, I think the December one maybe, yeah. but you can see I was able to smudge it out a little bit. So I'm gonna keep building that up, building the depth at the lash line and then kind of pulling it up. And getting this kind of nice winged out shape here. And I'll do the same to the other eye. I should mention I'm using the Sonia G Soft Shader. Seems to be working really nicely for this. Okay, I think that's good for now for the base. So that's what I have. And now it's time to get into the shadows. So I just have to decide what I want to use. I think I will, actually, yeah, I think I'll start with a matte. So I'm going to take my little flat definer and going into this purpley tone from the Divine Rose 2, which is called Extreme Burgundy. Extreme Burgundy. And I'm just packing that on along the lash line, and it is very extreme indeed. Very strongly pigmented. It almost looks like paint. And I'm sure that having it on top of the black only enhances that. I'm just kind of following the shape that I created already with that liner, making sure to pull it out a little bit at the edge. If you've seen a few of my videos before, you're probably used to having my dog Xander on the couch in the background, but today he's decided to stay closer to me. He's right at my feet right now. Okay, let's take the mini booster, and I just kind of want to see what happens if I try to blend out the edges here and just kind of pull that extreme burgundy up a little bit. Okay, I'm liking the effect because it's still leaving that bit of a, you can see where the pigment is stronger, but it's also allowing me to just blend up a little bit so it's not too harsh of a line, which is exactly what I had hoped for. I'm just packing on a bit more of the color on the outer part of that wing shape there. And I'll just let that sit for a moment while I blend the other eye as well. This is really not a shape that or a technique that I really have ever done before, so it's kind of fun to try new things. And I know that having this channel is really, that's one of my favorite things about having it, is that it pushes me and it gives me the chance to try different creative techniques that I don't think I would otherwise. I also find that I learn so much from, well, watching other YouTube videos, but also from Instagram. So many different ways of applying makeup and different shapes and techniques. It's great. All right, so here's what we're working with so far. I've just taken a couple of Q-tips and kind of tried to clean up a little bit around the edges. And now it's time to continue the gradation of color up. I think I'll put aside the Divine Rose 2 for now, and I'm gonna pick up my Lila palette because I'm thinking like these shades along here would be quite nice to work with. So let's, where's your bone? Go get your bone, bud. Xander's back on the couch, found his bone. So I'm gonna take this color here, which is called Livid. And I'm gonna kind of see what happens when I just put that right over top, like on top of the matte. Ooh, I like that. I do love shimmery shadows on the eye. Not that I don't like mattes, but just tend to enjoy shimmers a little bit more. I like the dimension that you get from them. Okay, I think that's nice. All right, I think these are all kind of neat plummy tones. And this one here is a duochrome. It has a sort of murky green flip to it, which I think actually fits with the idea of plum too. I am going to go into the Dragon Bite. This is the shade that made me really buy this palette. So I'm going to take that one, and that's going to be my next shade up. So I'm still with the flat definer, almost as though I'm sort of outlining the top of where I have that other color. Okay. All right, so there's that. I think that color is a great bridge between Livid and Pure, which is the next one that I'm going to put on. And Pure seems to be a lot more opaque than Dragon Bite. It's going on a lot more strong. But I do like all these colors together because I think these are all tones that you would find in a plum. Even though this is a monochromatic look, you can have different tones within a monochromatic look, and I think that's what can really add some interest sometimes. So I think that's pretty good for the eyes. I do want to just sort of blend out the edges a little bit, so I'm going back with my mini booster just to soften things up. Although it is a sort of graphic shape, I still like a little bit of softness and smokiness around the edges. Okay, I want to just make this a little bit pointier on the edges here. So what I'll do first is take my Q-tip again and just sort of roll that up. I'm going back into that Extreme Burgundy, the matte from Pat McGrath. And I just want to extend that line a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. I find it really hard to do these types of more defined shapes on the eyes, but I think this is all right, and you get the idea of what I'm trying to do anyway. So here's the eyes, and I'll put some mascara on, and then we'll come back and we'll finish everything up. We still have to do the lips, of course. So I'll be right back and we'll do that. Okay, so I just cleaned up a little bit around the eyes, again using the Q-tips, and then I took some of my Makeup Forever powder on a little brush and just sort of tried to sharpen things up a little bit. I suppose this shape is very similar to my Blue Christmas Lights look that I did, but this one was a little bit easier for me, either because I had a bit more practice or because I wasn't using wet shadows, so it was a little bit more forgiving. The shape isn't completely even, but I think it's all right. So for the lips, I'm taking my little Bite Beauty lip pencil, which I believe has been discontinued. All of their lip pencils have been discontinued. So this is shade 56, but it's basically just a black lip pencil. And I have a little bit of balm on. I'm just gonna leave it. It's just a tiny bit that's kind of lingering. And I just want to get this color into the lips. I'm not being precise about it. I just want the color there and kind of blended. It's a little bit more concentrated around the edges, which is what I wanted. And then my lipstick today is MAC Rebel. This is a beautiful plummy shade. And I think it's gonna, the black underneath is just gonna intensify it a little bit. I think this is one of MAC's best lipsticks. It's a satin and it kind of looks different on everyone. And of course it looks different depending on the liner that you put with it too. The black really brings out the coolness of it. But as this shade wears, it becomes, you can see the red tones in it and it wears really well too. It's one of those ones that wears down beautifully and sort of gives you different nuances of the color as it wears down and sort of shears out. It's really gorgeous. My former boss, this was one of her favorite lipsticks that she had. So I think of her when I use this. Anyway, I think this is the completed look. So it is intense. I decided not to do anything on the inner corners or underneath the eyes because I think we've got enough going on with the top of the eyes. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any requests for other monochromatic makeup looks that you'd like me to do, just let me know in the comments. And if you have any other comments or any questions, I'd love to see those below too. If you'd like to see more from me, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.